$5.29, right?
Yep.
What's up, buddy? All right, I'm all right.
Larry's here.
He's right there.
Making me some
Okay.
But I also thought Brad was here. Did I
Brad
not-
is he? No, he's back there.
I'm like, I was like, I thought I saw him. The November 4th, 2025 meeting of the City Council is called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Redpath, can you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Alderman Cox.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams. Alderman Rockford.
Here.
Alderwoman Purchase. Alderwoman Etriano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Conley. Alderman Donlin.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer. Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Clerk Redpath. I appreciate it. The civility pledge, in the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. Tonight, there are no proclamations or presentations.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to permit
Oh, good idea.
Alderwoman Conley and Alderman Hanauer to participate via electronic means.
I have a motion and a second to allow Alderwoman Conley and Alderman Hanauer to join us via phone. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Alderman Donlin.
Welcome, Mayor.
The chair will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the October 16th, 2025 regular city council meeting and approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council first reading of ordinances into the record of this council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and place a new item on the first reading. Can I get a motion to suspend the rules first?
So moved.
And a second, now I'm going to read it into the record. The chair will entertain a motion to suspend the rules. We're going to put on first reading ordinance number 2025-483, which is an ordinance authorizing a subrecipient agreement with Ring of Champions and payment in the amount of $220,000 for acquisition located at 2400 East Cook Street using CBDG Community Development Block Grant Funds pursuant to agreement 25-SR-0003 for the Office of Planning and Economic Development. So we have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and put this on first reading. All those in favor to put it on first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And then does anyone have any discussion that they want to give me on the first reading of that? And then you'll have it on your agenda next week for the committee meeting. Okay, thank you all very much. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council reading of the consent agenda into the record of this council
So
meeting.
moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Alderman Gregory.
I just have a,
Sorry, I just now saw that. My apologies.
no problem. I just have a parliamentary procedure question to Corporation Council. Corporation Council, if I have a question on 2025-457, is that appropriate now, or?
So after we incorporate the pre-council reading, if you're going to discuss it, it'd be better when it's put on final passage, because that would be the time to pull it from consent,
Okay.
if you want to.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any other discussion, Alderman Gregory?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Alderman
Ayes
Hanauer, how
have
do you
it.
vote? Aye. Alderman Conley, how do you vote?
The chair will entertain a motion to place the consent agenda on final passage.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Alderman Gregory.
Yes, so I just thought, I'm sorry, too many times. So I just need some clarity, so, for my own self. So in the contract, of course, the raises I'm fine with, but I do have questions on the, first, the residency portion of it. It's in the contract, and if somebody could talk to me why that's important, or why is that a sticking point?
Sure. So the residency language is the standard language that the city has been using since the city council passed a moratorium on the residency requirement. So we have, what it is it suspends the residency requirement if the city, but it allows the city, it creates it a matter of collective bargaining, so the city can negotiate it if the city wants to reimpose a residency requirement. If it lifts the moratorium, the city would go back to the bargaining table and negotiate a residency requirement at that time.
Okay. I don't know. That's tough for me, the residency portion, because I feel like we cut ourselves in our minority hiring, which we've been doing fine, by not having our residency, and people in the city of Springfield, and Springfield addresses should definitely have first crack at these fine jobs, and be trained up to be the very good firefighters that the city pushes, and the first class fire department that we have. So that, that's tough for me to put it in the contract. I understand the overall city moratorium. How long are we going to
They
do that
get
for?
points for being a resident when they test. They get additional
They
points.
do have a local preference, but it's not a requirement in the contract.
Is this moratorium in all of our contracts?
The ones that have been negotiated since the moratorium was put in place.
How many has that been since then? Probably about 3, maybe.
I would need to get back to you on that.
Okay, Mayor, I know
Yes, sir.
you asked for this moratorium. So how long have we been? Have we been a year in this moratorium? A little bit longer?
I would say probably, I would have to go back and look when we passed it, but my guess is yes, sir.
Do you intend this going much further? Do we see the need for that?
So at this time, it is difficult to get a lot of our professional jobs still, CPAs, engineers, the jobs that we still had the problem with. That's why we put it in place. I will tell you, and if Doug Brown is here, he will laugh as I say this. I push back very hard if there is a candidate that is not in the city and there's a lot of applications. I actually won't sign the hiring recommendation and send it back. So I do look at them and I make sure that it is a position that we are to the point where we have to hire from without the city in order to get the position filled, if that's the case.
Okay. All right. And then on the, I know we had talked briefly about the changes to the contract and what it did to our budget. I know you had gave me a number, and I wasn't quite sure on that number that you gave me.
The numbers are you talking to
Was
me?
it, yes, was it
I didn't talk to you.
11.9 when I asked in
Huh?
there?
I've
When
not
I
spoken to you.
asked in executive session about our budget, you gave me a number. Well, Ms. Ramona, what would be our number?
I did not talk to you about numbers in there.
No problem. So what does this do to our budget, this contract? Where would it leave us at?
There should be a fiscal form that's attached. Did you see that? I just opened up the
I
contract.
did not, but I could have missed it. But
It's towards the end, I think it's on page 7.
I can't pull it up right now on my computer for some reason.
I can tell you.
What'd you say?
So the total base of regular salaries over the life of the contract would be 11.482 million.
Right.
And with the FICA, or not FICA, the Medicare, public safety injury pay, sick leave payout contribution, workers' comp contributions, the employer contributions, that raises it to 12.447 million.
And that leaves us with our fund balance, our corporate fund at, I know you give us that ending number. What?
I have that memorized right now.
Is that over the life of the contract?
With the fund balance, we're actually at a higher fund balance right now.
No, I mean the number you gave, is that for just the fiscal year or the life of the contract?
Oh, that was for the life of the
That,
contract.
I think you
over
need
the
to
4
explain
years.
that to the alderman.
So-
The numbers she gave you are for the life of the contract.
Yes.
So for
yes,
fiscal
yes.
year '26, the regular salary impact is just over $1 million at $1,019,571. And with the employer fringes, it would put it at $1,097,000.
So our ending, would that put us at, what, 11%, 12%? I guess what I'm asking is where are we at on that? Are we safe? Because,
Yes,
you know,
we're still safe.
okay. All right. Even with, if we go from 48 to 52 with that, is that calculated in those numbers as well?
48 to 50.
If we go to minimum manning from 48 to 52, because that gives us 9 more firefighters.
Can I let Corporation Counsel answer that?
Absolutely.
That's not the budget.
Yes, our financial projections have included manning at 52. We've been manning at 52 since 2024 when Firehouse 13 opened.
Okay. All right, good people. I appreciate that information. I just thought it was important to know and to ask, so I can make an informed decision. That's all. I'm still uncomfortable with the residency portion of it. I just really think that the jobs that we're struggling to find people for is where the moratorium should be, not on firefighters and police and areas that I believe that we have, you know, a good pool to train up. I don't feel like we're ever going to go out and pick the perfect firefighter or the perfect police officer. That many of them are trained up by the staff. So thank you. So on this particular contract, I'm nervous. I'm just uncomfortable. So with this, I'm going to be voting present on it because I really just need to compare some numbers. I'm definitely for our firefighters making the money and went to arbitration, so that's not something that we can do. But I believe our residency, and I think we got to be careful with setting the minimum manning at 52 in the contract. It's just my take on it. Thank you.
So Alderman, I just want to be clear, it's still on the consent agenda. Are you wanting to just, do you need to pull this out?
No, it doesn't need to, if he's going to go with a present vote, he just notes that to the clerk that he's present on that
On that
particular
one
ordinance, and it can
okay.
stay on consent.
I just want to make sure that you're okay there, Alderman.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, Alderman. Any other discussion?
Any
wanna ask?
discussion from Alderman Conley and Alderman Hanauer?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So with that, then, are you okay back there for vote? Okay, so then voting will now be open. All those in favor of the consent agenda will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no.
Alderwoman Conley, how do you vote? Alderman Conley, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Alderman Hanauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, and then Alderman Gregory.
Yes. Clerk, please mark me as a present on this vote.
We got that, great.
Thank you, sir.
So on the consent agenda itself, are you present on the whole thing or just that one ordinance, Alderman?
Just on 2025-457.
Okay, so the motion for the omnibus vote, with the exception of one ordinance, passes with 8 voting yes, none voting no, and then that one ordinance is 7 voting yes, 1 voting present. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alderman Gregory.
Thank you.
Agenda items 2025-247, 2025-281, and 2025-422 remain tabled or in committee. I don't have any action for those. Is everyone okay with that? Okay. The next item on the agenda is item number 2025-434, an ordinance authorizing execution of an annexation agreement between the City of Springfield and Tina M. Pierce for the property located at 78 Fairview Lane for the Office of Public Works. The chair will entertain a motion to recess this regular meeting and hold a public hearing for consideration of the annexation agreement. I have a motion and a second for the public hearing. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion for the public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Those nay, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Does anyone in the council chambers wish to discuss this annexation agreement? Is anyone here for this at 78 Fairview Lane? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the public hearing. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will entertain a motion to close I just did that. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item 2025-434 on final passage.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the ordinance itself? Seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no.
Alderwoman Conley, how do you vote?
Vote yes.
Alderman Hanauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
So the motion passes with 8 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item 2025-435, an ordinance supplementing an agreement with Hanson Professional Services Incorporated to perform preliminary engineering and land acquisition for the Springfield Rail Improvements Project and authorizing a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $4 million for the Office of Public Works. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-435 on final passage.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Alderman Gregory?
Yes, ma'am. Corporation Counsel, did you find out any information on our ability to strike the greenway for this portion?
Right, so the Greenway portion of this funding is, this funding doesn't apply to the Greenway at all, but we do have a $10 million grant that we just received. $2.7 million in that is for the Greenway. So if we hold up doing anything on the Greenway while we go through the $500,000 19th Street feasibility study and then determine what we're going to do with 19th Street, it's very likely that we're going to lose that $2.7 million that will go towards the Greenway.
Listen, I would rather lose $2.7 million to build a greenway than let the people of the east side watch something that was told to them and promised to them be built, and they never see it. They're not going to see anything on that railroad track for a mighty, mighty long time. I'll be 60 before we see anything as far as fast as we're moving over there. And I just think that's a bad picture to paint. We already got passed over for so many things. But for us to paint and like I say, I'm going back doing my studies, but for us to paint as collective as a city, many of us wasn't here, to say, oh, we're going to do these rails and the 19th Street tracks is going to be beautiful like the 3rd Street tracks, and now we got everything pushing, we got all the money for everything else but the 19th Street tracks. So we continue on the narrative that we're going to promise the east side something, we're going to quiet them down, and then we're going to go on about our business. And I can't be a part of that. I got to push back on that, at least say, hey, let's pause on the Greenway. Finish the tracks, which is going to take years. Nate, you at the podium. How long before we're going to see them train tracks on 11th Street?
Alderman, can I interrupt for a
Sure.
second first,
Yes, ma'am.
please? I just want to let you know that I was not the alderman or the mayor or an alderman when all of that took place, and I'm not even sure you were an alderman when it started, because it
No.
started with Senator Turner and people before you.
Yes, ma'am.
But as the mayor, I have committed, and I talked to Senator Turner about this subject often,
Yes.
very often. And I have committed to her that we are working on 19th Street, and that is what Nate is a part of as well. But there is a commitment from this administration to work on that as well. I need you to hear that, because you and I haven't had that conversation. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
And I
not part
thank
of the
you for
committee
that.
when you brought it up. But I talk to the senator often because she feels responsible, because she was in these chairs making that promise at that time.
Yes, ma'am. And I thank you for that. And I hear people tell me things about what we're going to do on the east side. I've read it, I've studied it, but it hasn't happened. So I can't take words on I'll vote for this thing, and 20 years later, I'll be coming up here complaining about it still. Like, I can't go for that. So we're not at the point with the grant yet, correct?
I'm going to do you mind if Nate speaks
Sure,
now? I interrupted,
absolutely.
sorry.
So
Go
this
ahead.
ordinance is for $3.578 million for Series B bond money. It's not associated with the $10 million for the local, the LPF grant money. However, with that being said, we do have an ordinance prepared, and will be coming on for first reading November the 18th for the $500,000 to do the 19th Street feasibility study. To move forward with that, it's similar to what we did with 3rd Street, where we started with the feasibility study, and we were able to leverage money so that we can start construction.
Yeah.
Our goal is to start with the 19th Street, do the feasibility study. It's a potential, obviously, with the Kincaid Power Plant closing down, the corridor could potentially be vacated, and we could potentially make it a greenway.
Absolutely.
We're not totally sure, but we are planning on still doing improvements to 19th Street, but we want to do the proper improvements. It may not necessarily be a railroad corridor, but we can improve it and do safety improvements to the intersections, whether it be a multi-use trail, but we need to study that and get in good shape so that we can have shovel-ready projects. The first thing to do is that feasibility study, which the mayor and we're committed to doing, and you'll see that on first reading November the 18th.
Thank you, I appreciate you for that, but, you know, and I'm glad to hear that, and I'm still gonna wait to see those things. That's what point I'm at in this career that I'm serving, right? Is show me. I'm out of the tail business, right? Because I've seen too many things. I need to see it with my own two peepers and make sure that we're gonna do it. Because we'll say it, if we wasn't making a fuss about this, can we honestly say that we'd be at this point of doing a feasibility study? Because the senator had to say, no, we are going to fix the 19th. Thank God she's our senator. Because if we sitting down here still, we'd still be begging and, pleading about the 19th Street tracks. So for me, it just does my community a disservice for us to sit and watch this beautiful thing happening in our community. It's going to be quite some time, in my opinion, before we see the 3rd Street tracks and that train on 11th Street go all the way by the Horseshoe Stadium and all that good stuff that's going on over there, and then take up all those tracks on the 3rd Street and then do what we need to do. We're talking some time. That ain't gonna come quick. We still wait on Martin Luther King to be redone, right? That's been a couple years. So all of those things are gonna take some time to do that, and all I'm asking and all I'm going to keep pushing for is to see some real action on that 19th Street corridor. I'll be happy to see the ordinance come through, and I'll be happy to see some meetings coming and some real tangible plans on what we're going to do with the 19th Street track. Because guess what? Even when y'all plan it, what we got to do? We got to go get big time money from the feds and the state. How long that's going to take in this political climate? So here we are again, East Side last. It just is what it is. So it's not your fault. I ain't blaming the mayor or anything. It's this thinking in our city that the East Side always got to be last. No, place like that should be first, in my opinion. But that's just me. I just wanted to explain where I'm at on this. I want to see her railroad done. Rockford's got big things going on in his ward. I love it. I'm all for it. But I can't let the East Side get left out. My portion of 19th Street. I drive over those tracks. It irritates me every time I drive over them.
And Alderman, 19th Street, the overpass North Grand, that's one of the tracks you're talking about. That will be completed the end of 2027,
Right.
which will improve access, obviously, to the east side. Also, there are 3 crossings, Griffiths, Moffett, and Converse on the 19th Street corridor that should be fixed next construction season, improving those crossings as well.
Good. We just need to scoot south a little bit. Good work.
And that's part of the feasibility study where we're looking from Clear Lake Avenue all the way down to the Kincaid Power Plant, which you'll see for first reading November 18th.
All right, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions, Alderman Gregory?
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion from the alders? You want to see if any of the people?
Any questions from Alderwoman Conley or Alderman Hanauer?
Nothing.
Okay, so we okay? So voting will now be open. All those in favor of the ordinance, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no.
Alderwoman Conley, how do you vote? Alderwoman Conley, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Alderman Hanauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
So the motion passes with 7 voting yes and 1 voting present. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-437 on final passage to appoint James W. Peters as the purchasing agent for the city of Springfield.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Peters, do you want to take the podium at all and say anything one last time? Or?
Last chance. I have a prepared statement, if that's okay.
Sure, that's great. Didn't even expect that.
It's an honor to be here and to be considered for the appointment of purchasing agent for the city of Springfield. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mayor Busher and Director Metzger for this tremendous opportunity. I was born and raised in Springfield and have spent the majority of my life here, with the exception of approximately 4 years, during which I relocated for professional advancement. During that time, I lived in Peoria and Tustin, California. My family and I are proud to call Springfield home. Their support has been instrumental throughout my career, and I'm deeply committed to serving the community we share. I bring to the city nearly 3 decades of experience in bank management and finance, with a strong background in underwriting, regulatory compliance, and training and development of employees. As purchasing agent, I'm committed to ensuring that all procurement transactions are conducted in the best interest of the city and its citizens, with strict adherence to city code and established procedures. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Any discussion from the alders? All right, thank you very much. Seeing none? Thank you, Alderman Rockford. Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no.
Alderwoman Conley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alderman Hanauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
So the motion passes with 8 voting yes, none voting no. Congratulations, Mr. Peters. Is there any unfinished business to come before the council tonight from any of the members? And we should probably ask the two on the phone.
Alderwoman Conley or Alderman Hanauer, do you have any old business?
Or new?
Alderman Rockford, you do, it looks like.
Yes, Corporation Council. I've been asked by a few people, is there been any movement on the Wyndham? Have we heard anything on the Wyndham, any pertaining to?
In what sense? We are, in my office is pursuing violations. We had them in administrative court a couple days ago. On their first appearance, we're proceeding with fines. I can't, there are about 29 pages of code violations that we're finding them for. They have an attorney out of Chicago that has entered their appearance in that case. But we are seeking fines and seeking them to repair the violations.
Okay,
I
so-
know that they put boards up, but our code requires those boards to be painted. So I've heard about that, and we're trying to address that through them.
Yeah, so, but we won't hear anything from them legally. They're in court with insurance companies, and they got their own business going on, right? I mean,
Yeah, there are large insurance dollars in federal crimes that have been alleged, so administrative court, I think, takes a back burner
right,
for the ownership group.
thank you.
Any other old business from the alders?
I have a follow-up on that.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. So while they are dealing with their legal troubles, does that mean that no one can buy or show interest in the property? Is the property sort of like frozen?
The city's not holding up any sale or frozen. As far as what the feds or insurance companies are doing, I don't have access to that, but the city's not hindering any sale at this point.
Okay, so could they have liens then?
Who's
The feds or the insurance company?
So there's likely, and I could go check, but there's likely been Liz Pendens that have been filed with liens or potential liens on the property, saying this property is subject to lawsuits. But that's just, but I don't have any firsthand knowledge of what's going on that front.
Okay, but that would maybe create some problems if there were a potential, if there was interest in it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion?
Alderwoman Conley, do you have any discussion on this?
No, thank you.
Alderman Hanauer? Ralph?
I'm good.
All right.
So now we're on to new business, and before I ask the alders about new business, I want to promote on Saturday at the Lake Springfield Beach House, which is in Ward 1. There will be a pumpkin smash event from 11 to 2 where you can bring your pumpkins out, or if you don't have pumpkins to smash and have children that want some activities, we will have them for them. There is a shred event going on at the same time the city's promoting Touch a Truck for children, I guess if you're an adult, you can touch truck 2 if you want. Food trucks will be there, and then most importantly, from 11 to 3, the Central Illinois Food Bank is going to be there for a food drive for our community. So if anyone would like to come out to Center Park, to the Lake Springfield Beach House area on Saturday from 11 to 3 is the food drive, and we really encourage you to come out and bring some food. So we will be there for all of you. Alderman Carlson.
Thank you, Mayor. I like to share some good news. I like to do that once in a while, but sometimes we don't often praise our city employees. We're after them a lot. But I do want to thank Director Fuchs, who's here, and Buckley, my zone coordinator. Everybody who drives down Wabash, thousands and thousands of cars a day. There's a sound barrier wall that separates Sherwood from Wabash. A little history, that was put in about 15 years ago. And so when the state or the city bought some land right there, the residents there wanted that wall. But as we've seen the last couple of years, it's gotten dirty, deteriorated, but persistence from the residents and their aldermen. Director Fuchs, thank you for getting that thing painted this week, and actually a second coat today. The residents over there are thrilled. And it just helps a little bit of the beautification of Springfield, just the little things like that are important. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Gregory.
No,
You must want Director Posey because he stood up. Is that true?
No.
To show off his tie.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Alderman Gregory.
I was going to say on my first note, no, I do agree with Alderman Carson. Things like that, as we've had the Cook Street underpass addressed as far as what we could do as the city, and I appreciate the staff for hearing us and hearing how important that was, especially for people who are walking and trying to get, under that or over that Cook Street Bridge. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the pictures, and I appreciate the quick turnaround work. And as far as our workers, I'll say is anything I say up here is only on our directors. They're the ones who are directing. It has nothing to do with our workers. They get directions from our directors and our mayor and us as far as what we're doing. So anything that they're doing wrong, it falls on all of us up here making the decisions, never them. And my final question. Last week we had a jury decision, conviction of Sean Grayson in the murder of our dear sister Sonia Massey, and I appreciate the statement that the city put out. Thinking about her. And as I said, I'm just in a different mood, and I really want to make sure that we understand that, in that statement we say we're reviewing our policies and all of those things, and when I hear those things, it worries me a little bit, because I know at other times we have these conversations, and we really take pride in what we do. So whatever we need to review, I know our Police Review Commission needs tightened up. It needs to meet. It needs to function. We've had people from that commission and stakeholders that we meet with for 22 meetings and all of those things that said that process, for whatever reason, not blaming you, my friend, is not working. And I want to, I know I've reached out to Chief and everybody, and I said, hey, I want to meet. And those meetings haven't happened about the topics that should be talked about. So going forward, and I said this in new business, I think we have to hold true to our statements. I think we got to make sure that that commission is functioning and being able to review what they want to review. I'm not going to say why I feel those ways, but there's reasons why I feel that way. The people are telling us that needs to happen. So, again, I'm going to say, hey, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about the functionality of this commission. It's important, especially in this time frame that we have going out. I do have some thoughts on it. I won't say it here on how we need to make that go. We probably need to just tear it on down and rebuild it so it functions and it does what it needs to do for both the community and our police. If we're up here and the community's not seeing it there, then we know we got work to do. If we're even, then we know we're right on track because we've gotten the opinions of those who we serve. And that's all I'm gonna say on that topic. But I am so serious about it. So I look forward to these meetings happening, and if not, fine, so be it. We'll bring an ordinance and we'll get after it. So thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Posey, Director Posey, I know Alderman Donlin signed up to speak. Did you want to say something before Alderman Donlin speaks, or?
I don't know, I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right, well, Director Posey, he's trying to up his tie game to
Yeah, I
compete
know
with
he
you,
is.
Alderman Donlin.
I am, and we're also, very supportive of moving Pillsbury forward with the Pillsbury tie here. But also, so Alderman, Thursday, November the 6th, here in the City Council chambers, we will be having a Police Community Review Commission meeting, which is open for all people in the public to attend, and that will be here at 5:30. In the chambers, the doors will be open for people to come. But also, I love to, I don't have a huge staff, but I love to brag on the fact that we are expanding our outreach team. And I would be mistaken to not recognize our newest member of our outreach team, who was here in the crowd, Miss Mary Doris, if she would stand up.
I'm going to stand up, Mary Doris.
Yeah, welcome. Mrs. Mary Doris has come to us from Task, formerly as a deflection specialist. So with her on the team, we've now tripled the size of our outreach team, as you guys were wonderful enough to budget for us to do. We're working on a lot of different things in collaboration with our different agencies and our community partners to try and bring a more person-centered approach to how we are working with our unhoused community, our community in mental health, our community in substance use and opioid use disorder. But I very much like to recognize my staff members when they are new and they're here and they've hit the ground running and doing a great job. So I just wanted to recognize Ms. Mary Doris.
Thank you, Director, and thank you, Mary Doris, for joining us. Yeah. Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you for this opportunity just to say a few words. I just wanted to publicly thank you, your team, everybody in this council
For not giving up.
for not giving up, and we're still not there, but we've made some progress at the Old Town Apartments. The biggest eyesore that's visibly there is gone. The demolition began this week. I've also been contacted by some serious, I'll just call them developers that are interested in redeveloping the property, so can't make any promises here today, but at least there's some positive talk. But Mayor, when you first came in, you got a group of all the departments together, outside agencies, and tried to look at how we could collectively make this area what it once was. And I know we're not there, but we're making baby steps. And part of that process, unfortunately, was the court process that takes a while. And Mr. Mordock, thank your team, though, on behalf of the entire Ward 9 for everything they've done. Again, we're not all the way there, but we're moving forward. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Do you want to see if they have any new business?
Alderwoman Conley, do you have anything for the new business? Alderman Hanauer?
No.
Okay. So we are on to citizens who have addressed in advance to speak to the council. Go ahead, Clerk Redpath.
James Johnson.
Did we lose somebody? Both of them?
Wear your gloves.
You ready, Chuck?
Sir.
Yes, go.
I want to start off with, the Bible story of Noah? And Noah tried to prepare everybody for the big flood. And nobody listened to Noah until the big flood showed up. So when these citizens come up here and start talking about different stuff, consider that Noah speaking. Because what's happening in our community and in our country right now has been mentioned from right here that dark days are coming. And we are under attack. And for some reason, the media don't want to tell the truth. Republican Party don't want to tell the truth. So I'm going to come up here and spend a few minutes and tell the truth about some stuff. Because we're on record day of shutdown, and we're probably going to surpass that record by a large number. And I said it before, and I say it again, we better get ready. Now, what I'm not liking is that if the Republicans run the House, Senate, and the presidency, how come they can't make the decisions? And everything's been put on the Democrats. And truth of the matter is, the SNAP budget was cut a long time ago. And here's what's going to happen to all the people who are on SNAP. They're going to make you get a job. You're going to work for 20 hours just to get your money. But nobody wants to say that and tell the truth. They want everybody to believe that the Democrats are at fault and holding up our money and our country. And it's not true. There's a dictator running our country. And I don't care what party you voted for or not. But if you think everything is great right about now, then I'm going to pray for you too. Now, I'm going to move off of that and jump onto something else real quick. Because we had another homicide of some black males since I've been up here last. Just this past weekend. Where's your chief at? Now, I'm going to stay here and listen to all the speakers, and I'm going to see who all brings it up or mentions something. And if your chief is going to stand up here. Because we got to stop playing with that. Violence. We playing too much. The media is a part of the coup. Now, there's a few things I wanted to say, but I'm really just disappointed in how things are being handled. But for all the ones who are doing good and helping in our community, I'm going to say thank you. Sean, keep up the good work. I really don't know what else I want to say, but I'm going to use my last minutes to think about it, and I want everybody else to think about who's really at fault on which direction we're going. The truth needs to be told. There's some demonic spirits in our country right now, and we need to pray. And if you're not a prayer and not a believer, then okay, I get it. That's on you. But right now, we need to pray. And to the families that just lost another one, I say a prayer for them as well. We all got to come together. And the last thing I want to say is November 25th through the December 2nd is a national blackout. And we need everybody who don't believe in what's happening to not spend any money or do anything on those dates. Thank you.
Caleb McGuire.
Good evening, I'm back. I took October off because it's my birthday month and I needed a little bit of chill time for myself, but I have a few things I want to talk about. First thing is the citizen censorship, specifically regarding cursing. I'm just a little confused on the rules because it seems like simply we can't curse because there have been a few slip-ups from people in the horseshoe and it doesn't seem like they get a 30-day ban, so I'm just confused. Is it fighting words? Is it cursing? Is it intentional cursing? Is it any cursing? Because at this point, it just sounds like you guys don't want us to express ourselves how we feel like it. I totally get if somebody's calling you names or something like that, but I just want to briefly address that. And there seems to be a lack of respect for the citizens that come up here when they speak. People leaving when we have to speak is very disrespectful, in my opinion. Watching different aldermen, I heard that the mayor left, I heard corporation counsel left on one of the past meetings. That is so disrespectful. We come up here to speak to you guys, we take time out of our day. I know it's just a Tuesday night, but still, I know you guys are kind enough to give us your time, and we listen when you speak. It's just crazy that you guys don't listen when we speak, and I'm not talking about all of you. The people that I want to hear this, I feel like aren't here at the moment, and I feel like somebody else ended the call, because I did catch that we lost somebody, so hope you're listening on the live stream. Real quick. I stopped showing up last month also because I felt like my voice didn't matter. Coming up here and talking to people and seeing only the same people show any kind of care that anyone is up here. And I was convinced that I was done caring about Springfield. I was done coming up and speaking, but after a very kind friend of mine gave me a reminder and a pep talk that my voice does matter, even if some of you guys don't think so. And I want to tell the people listening right now that your voice matters as well. And don't be afraid to come up here and talk to these people because they're not going to respond most of the time. I feel like they just don't because that's how it goes. But it's intimidating, but your voice matters and they need to hear it even if you think it doesn't matter. And it would also be great, and I'm not asking you guys to be like, oh, that's amazing every time, because I know you guys have to be respectful and neutral, but the immediate cutting people off the second that people have to go, okay, they only get 3 times to figure and then we're going to skip them. Okay, so Caleb McGuire next, Tierra Stanley next. It's just stuff like that. It just seems like you guys are just waiting for us to get out of here, and I don't know how we're supposed to have respect for you guys if it's very obvious that you guys, not all of you, that some of you guys don't have any respect for us. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Aaron Cahill. Aaron Cahill. Bree Roberts.
Okay, you guys know me. I'm very data-driven, so we're going to talk about real data today. In the United States, non-Hispanic white Americans make up approximately 58% of the population. Black Americans account for around 14%, Hispanics about 20%, and Asians around 7%. These numbers matter because when we examine violence, we must examine the proportion and not just the totals. Nationally, firearm homicide rates for black males in the U.S. soar into 50+ per 100,000 range in some recent years, while for white males, the comparable figure is in the low single digits. This means a young black male might face 10 to 15 times the homicide risk of a young white male purely on the basis of population and rate. In Illinois, and here in Springfield specifically, this is a localized and urgent issue that I feel like needs to have more conversation. While Springfield is not the crime capital of America, the data tells us that the city is failing in public safety. In 2023, the Springfield Police Department reported Group A offenses increasing about 7% over the prior year. And by June 2024, the city recorded 3 murders in 1 month, when in the prior year there were 0. Springfield's violent crime rate in 2024 is about 515.8 per 100,000, which is roughly 2.3 times the U.S. average. So why do we see these patterns, especially in concentrated black and brown communities? And why is the cliched phrase black on black crime not only unhelpful, but actively harmful? It's true that most homicides in America are intra-racial, and the offenders and victims share the same race. But this pattern holds for all races, white offenders killing white victims is the norm in the white community. The perceived uniqueness of black communities participating in black-on-black crime is an illusion. The real problem isn't race alone. It is poverty, segregation, illegal gun markets, social exclusion, and decades of disinvestment in the failure of policy. So when we say black-on-black crime, what we're doing is shifting the focus away from structural failure and towards blaming individuals and communities who have had their hands tied for generations. The narrative ignores how decades of redlining, under-resourced schools, concentrated disadvantages, limited job opportunities, toxic policing and prison cycles, and saturated illegal handgun flows produce lethal environments. Studies show that media and music are not the reason either, so we can't keep using that as the root drivers. There is white-on-white crime. And of course, we don't pay as much attention to it because the rates are lower, because the visibility and context differ. We don't mention it because it seems less concentrated because of the population percentage. But the truth is, intra-racial violence is not the issue. It's differential rates and concentrated risks. So here we have city officials that are constantly neglecting to invest, failed to intervene, failed to disrupt, failed to partner at scale in public health violence interruptions. We are standing in a failing city system with homelessness, joblessness, untreated trauma, illegal firearms, police departments stretched and are reactive instead of proactive. These are all linked. These consistently escalate and they will always lead to death. We have examples of cities that have embraced focused deterrence, cities that treated violence as public health concerns. They have reversed the retaliatory cycles. Cities that have mapped out hotspots. They have improved lighting and paired enforcement with social services to reduce shooting. So what can we do? We can disrupt the supply of illegal handguns. We can implement violence interruptions and public health outreach. We can invest in places like the East Side that has constantly been disinvested in, and we need to hold city officials accountable. This is no longer a blame game. If we really want to talk about the main issue, we can't just look at the surface level because things will never get fixed and the issues will never be addressed. Regardless if it's concentrated in one area, why? And then ask why again, and then ask why again, because it's not just one answer. You have a heavy job. Please do the work because people are dying. Thank you.
Brianna Day. Ken Pesha.
I'm going to take a moment to enjoy that Sean Grayson will at least be in prison for the foreseeable future, which, while I did not get the actual result I want, I'll take it. I'm also going to take a moment of joy. Dick Cheney died today. He was an evil man. One of the really important things you got to remember in this world is violence doesn't just come at the end of a fist. I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand, that violence isn't just getting shot. Violence happens every day out on the east side, and it's not people getting beaten to death. It happens on the north side, and it's not people getting hit by cars or shot by police. Violence happens every day when we allow the kind of systems that we know exist. I mean, let's talk about that police commission board that was established back in 2005. Go Google that thing. It has been a boondoggle for every administration and a failure up and down, left and right, for every mayor because it's a toothless, pointless board. The very people on it right now want to leave it because it doesn't do anything. The cases that they receive have no outcome, and all they get are recommendations. You guys like my recommendations? Do you actually want to do anything because I recommended it to you? You're going to change policy out of a recommendation? I doubt it. Because that's the thing. police commission review boards that are civilian staffed need to be independent, well-funded, and have nothing to do with just sitting there and talking about what I'd like you to do. You need to give them real power, or else you're just wasting everyone's time. It's 2005. I mean, 2013, 2017, 2020, 2023. There's stories about, oh, there's this frustration. It feels like it doesn't go anywhere and nobody listens. I mean, do you just interested in hearing that story get printed in 2025? And that isn't like meant to be an attack on you. It's not your fault that it's been ineffective for years, but it is your opportunity to change that. I mean, heck, I applied to it months ago under the recommendation of one of the current members. I've never heard anything about it since then. I think I'd be a decent member of it. You don't have to agree with the way I go about things, but you have to at least understand that I take a really severe view on things like that and would really put my heart into it at the very least. More so than just sitting there, like most of the people have to do right now on an ineffective commission. So if we're going to bring it back, let's actually make it worth doing. There are other examples, even within Illinois, like the Evanston Review Commission, which they actually gave them some level of investigative authority and the ability to institute their findings. Wild, right? It's almost like they want them to get something done. And I think that's kind of the thing we're at. Recommendations and calls to action, unless you guys are actually going to take that stuff seriously and look back at the long wreckage of all these failed groups and administrations that have come before us, I really caution you to think about that stuff. Like, Grayson going to jail, as I said last week, is not the end of that. The Massey Commission has given you guys a blueprint, and it says countywide on a lot of that, but let's be serious. Who's the biggest city in the county? Who's the largest of their property tax? Am I missing something? It's us. Do we have a direct conduit with them? Could you pick up and talk to Van Meter about real serious stuff like the thousands of dollars we invest in mowing their lawns? No. They absolutely ignore us. They hold their meetings opposite us to avoid the ability for you guys to even step over there and have something to say. It's just, I think that's something where I really caution you guys to think about those recommendations that the Massey Commission has given you and apply that into something like the Police Civilian Commission. I mean, those are the kind of things that languish for years because people think that it's effective because we did it. It took several years to even get that established. And now here we are, well over 20 years later, still talking about how it's not doing anything. And that's what we see a lot of times in Springfield. A lot of this stuff takes so long because people aren't willing to actually do something about it. They want to upset anybody. They want to make anybody uncomfortable. But change does not come from being comfortable, guys. It really doesn't. If everybody's happy with it, there should be a problem. Someone should be asking why. Why is everybody just so copacetic about it? Because that's ineffective leadership. And that's not blaming the mayor. Every single one of you is a leader in your own way for your ward, for the council. It's up to you to do something about that other than just pass it off to the next administration. Because I think that's frustrating, is this idea that somebody will fix it. Like when you got mad about those chargers getting put in and they just told you to wait on it because your infrastructure wasn't good enough. How much longer should we wait? How much longer should a city that has a 43% poverty rate for the black population and an 18% poverty rate for this city, which, by the way, has 36,000 SNAP recipients? How many people live in this city? How many people live in this county? Do the math. Think about that. Where's all that money going to go? Where's it going to come from? Hungry people don't stay hungry for long, right, guys? Talk about crime rates. I mean, really think about that. I mean, it's not, I'll tell you right now, and give me 2 seconds and I promise I'm done. This month for me at the start of November 1st when they cut off those benefits, that started, I didn't see anything November. When I go to my stores and I see somebody taking a loaf of bread, I didn't see anything. When I see somebody walking out with a winter coat from a store, guess what? I didn't see anything because those people need it. And if you don't think it's going to get worse, if we don't do something, wait and see.
Thank you, sir.
Roy Walton.
Say it one more time.
Roy Walton. That's it, Mayor.
All right. Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
The motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Will you ask Alderwoman Conley if
Alderman Conley, how do you vote?
Too late.
is she there?
You voted aye. Yeah.
She's still there.
Good night.